Please have a seat. Well, it's good to see you again. This is our third session. I think that we've met, and I know in your initial session you came in and you had concerns about how things were going at home, and a little bit about division of labor issues we talked about a little bit about some financial concerns. It seemed that Heather was overspending, and you were concerned about that. So that's a little bit about what I remember. So tell me a little bit about what brought you in today.
I feel you're still overspending, and I just don't know what to do about it anymore.
When you say overspending, like what do you mean? What kind of things does she spend on, or
Like, I know we agreed that she was gonna be the one working and I'm gonna be the one at school, but I feel I have no power over the money at the house, and it's just, I don't think she listens to me. I don't think, like, I know she can go out and get new shoes once in a while or a new shirt. I'm not saying she can't. I'm just saying to have, like, boundaries. Like, you know what I mean?
I think so. Are you the one that does the bills, or does she do the bills at home? Or?
Well, like, I'm not working, as you know.
I do the bills.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I do the bills.
You do the bills.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think about that? What she had to say?
I don't know, it kind of bothers me because I'm the one who brings the money in, and I feel like I should have a right to treat myself a little bit with it. I don't like that she's bothered by it, but at the same time, like, I try to give her a little extra money when I can, but she's always at school. Like, that's all she does is she's at school. She doesn't work anymore, and it does stress me out.
So, like, to me, it's almost a control issue. Is that how you're thinking, or what are you thinking about? I'm not sure.
I feel I don't have a say anymore. Just because I don't bring money in, it's like I'm the one working, so I decide what to do. What you want to do, it's kind of not that important because I'm the one bringing the money in. And I just don't, like, we agreed on this. It wasn't like, oh no, I'm gonna go back to school.
So, if you had a say, what kind of say would you want to have? What do you mean by I don't have a say?
Like, boundaries or rules. I don't want to say a contract, but kind of like it. It's like, okay, this is what we are going to do. This is what we agreed on. But, like, then at the end, it's just like, oh no, I just wanted to, or then I get upset because, like, I know I'm not always easy to, like, talk to. It's just having that, some kind of steps, what to do, what something we agree on.
Okay.
Yeah, when she says she is not always easy to talk to, like, she'll hold it all in. She's really, really quiet. And then all of a sudden, like, she just blows up. Like, it's just like, why didn't we just talk about this when I bought it? But no, she has to hold it in for, like, weeks. And then, like 2 weeks after I buy the item, she's in the room, like, being overreacting about it. And I can see. I could see that I got her upset. I just prefer if she would just have a voice and tell me that it bothered her on the day that I bought it.
You don't feel like you think she's being selfish, or she's not buying things for the household? She's just buying things for herself, or?
No, because, like she said, she does give me, like, sometimes the money and gifts. It's not that we don't share. It's just, like, again, I'm quiet. Yes, I sometimes don't talk when I'm bothered, and I wait and I wait. It's like, that's something I understand I need to work on. But at the same time, I don't feel included when she makes these decisions.
Well, if you want to be part of paying the bills, maybe. I almost feel like sometimes, like, you're just feeling frustrated because you used to work and you've lost that income and that control. You know, your part.
Maybe. I've always liked my independence. But this was something, like you said, you were not going to support me on. You pushed me to go back to school. It's something we both decided. It wasn't like, oh no, I'm going back and you have to like buy everything and pay everything. It's like on you. It wasn't like that. It's something like you pushed me. I didn't want to. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to just kind of have someone that yeah, I love, but she has to do everything and pay for everything. And it's like sometimes I do want to go and just take her out and do something for her.
Yeah.
It's not that she's not a selfish person. So yeah, it may be that. I honestly don't know. I just want to feel like before that we were just so fair and just to each other. It's just,
Is doing something for her, does it have to be a monetary kind of thing or a gift, or could it be something that you make her, something time you spend with her? Or I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can express your love. You don't have to necessarily express it through a gift or something, or even taking someone out.
We used to walk the beach all the time. That was really nice. It's just that, with the time spent in school, like the weekends turn into you, studying with your study groups. Maybe you can like go to the beach sometime, and that wouldn't cost a lot of money.
Heather, do you feel like Danielle is not spending enough time with you, or?
I definitely do miss her. Like I feel like I wasn't prepared for the amount of time that she was going to have to spend studying. And once in a while I do get jealous of the girl she's studying with because I love her so much and she's beautiful. So like why wouldn't I like be jealous? She's spending time with other girls. I don't want to lose her.
like that's the other thing. Like I get it. The time is changing. Like things are changing. But I just don't get why she gets jealous. Like I really don't. These are just like people from school, and if I didn't have to, I wouldn't be with them. Like
They're classmates.
they're classmates. Like, honey, I wish I could be with you. Like all the time, home watching movies, making you something to eat, going to the beach. Like, don't get me like. It's hard on me too. But like when she gets all like defensive and it's like, oh, again you're like studying with this and that, and it's like calm down.
Well, maybe you can bring them by the house to study sometimes so I could get to know them. Then it wouldn't be like so.
It's like they're not important enough to bring them to our house. God, just don't. I don't like people
I
calling
just
to the
miss her.
house.
Heather, you said you were a real estate broker, or you do something real estate. What? I can't remember quite what you said you did last time.
Oh, I do licensing for a real estate office.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that a normal 9 to 5 kind of job, or is that?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have your normal 9 to 5 kind of day, and then you come
Yeah.
home.
And she's usually not there. Once in a while, I'll get a text message saying, hey, I'm going to be at the library for a few hours, but sometimes it can get all the way to like 11 midnight, and I get nervous because, I don't know where she's at, and I don't want her hurt. Hey.
And I appreciate that. I really do.
So, if I understand, Heather, you're a little upset not only about the time that maybe Danielle is taking for school, but also the time for her study groups and the time she's spending with other people. Is that what's going on? Or?
Yeah, like she spends more time with them, and I feel like she gets all of her communication time with other people, so by the time she gets home, she's tired and she doesn't really communicate well with me.
Okay.
I don't get it.
It sounds like to me, Danielle, from what you've been talking about, that this is just a normal part of school. There's no big deal. You're not acting out with anyone. This is not about relationships you're having with anybody else. These are just classmates, and there's no reason really to be jealous. You don't get the jealousy. That's kind of the impression I'm getting.
Just like the library is not a club, it's not a bar. I'm surrounded by books, and once in a while, like, hey, can you help me with number 2? It's just
Yeah, but this is more than just also at school. Like, we will go out and we're hanging out, and she's so quiet. She doesn't like want, to talk, and then someone will come up, and then she's like suddenly like lights up, and she says it's just because she feels comfortable talking to someone who doesn't really know her that well. But it's like, I want that time. I want that communication from her.
just don't get why that's a problem now. It's not like I've changed. It's been going on for the entire relationship. You know I'm not emotional. You know I don't talk about my things. See, and now I'm getting emotional because I'm just tired. I'm just like, even when we were going out at the beginning of the relationship, you knew I didn't talk about things. That's just the way I deal with life. And it's just like out of nowhere, I feel you just want to change everything about me. It's like, oh, too much school, too little school.
When you say you don't talk about things, do you mean your emotional life, like what's happening inside, like how you're feeling? Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, just me coming here, it's a huge step. Like, I don't like talking to anyone. I don't even talk to her, and I'm talking to you. I've known you for like 3 weeks. Like, give me a break.
Sure. It's hard sometimes to open up and to feel like you can connect.
I do appreciate you coming in. It means a lot to me, the fact that you would just come here. It shows me that you are willing to work on something that's bothering me for us and not just let it fall apart.
I'm just doing my best.
I really want it to work out. I really, really love her, and we got married, and we have a lot of hopes for the future. I just feel like we need to work on some communication.
I'm here. I'm just willing to do it, but I just don't.
One of the things I think that can help, and I think this is true of everyone, a lot of people just get busy with their everyday life, and what happens often is your activities will either expand or contract to fill the time that you have. So what helps sometimes is, and this is just a suggestion, so anything that I offer is really something for you to think about and discuss at home together as a family and as a couple. But one of the things that can be helpful is to actually set aside time for working on your relationship, for your marriage, working on one another. And it can be, just an hour, a couple of hours. And so say, for example, this can be any time, but this is just hypothetical. Say, for example, you set aside every Saturday from 10 in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You have lunch together, you have brunch or breakfast, you have time to talk, you have time to connect, you have time to be with one another in any way you so choose to be with one another. In other words, you have a set amount of time that you're really connecting and that you both can kind of look forward to. Does that sound like something that might be helpful, or?
Yeah, I like structure and set schedule. So it's like, I don't know why you didn't think about it before.
I'm always just, she's like, I'm busy, I have like a study. But if you just find a little extra time where you're, sometimes you're playing on the game or Instagram or something like that, we could be
together.
Doing something, kind of reconnecting.
Yeah.
I have one last suggestion, and this is something I think that a lot of couples fall into a trap with. Often what happens is couples tend to not consciously do good positive things for one another after they've been together for a while. Sometimes they get into this trap of just really concentrating on, the bad things or the things that aren't working for one another, and making a lot of complaints. So one of the things that I want you to try, one of the things I want you to do is I want you to consciously do at least 3 positive things for the other every single day. And it doesn't have to be anything really big or huge. It can be something as small as you left the light on for her because she might have to get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. That's a nice positive thing. Or you bring her a nice cold drink when she's been studying all day. That's a nice thing. One thing you're not allowed to do, though, you're not allowed to keep score. So at the end of the day, Heather, you can't tell Daniela, well, you only did 1 nice thing for me today. You didn't do 3, like Dr. Saunders said. Can't keep score, okay? But you have to keep score for yourself, not for the other person. And I think one of the things that this does is it really forces you to start thinking in a positive way about the other person instead of just concentrating on complaints. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Now, how do you feel about doing the 3 nice things every day?
I will definitely be rubbing her feet tonight.
That's wonderful.
I really do think it's going to help us with most of our issues, if not all, when the mindset changes from negative to positive and the effort changes. It's like, oh, I'm going to bicker and bicker and bicker instead of just, you know what, I'm going to make her a sandwich or I'm going to make time. I think it's really will work.
Wonderful.
Like that.
Well, we're out of time today. It was nice to see you both. Really happy you got to come in. I think maybe we try one more session. Originally we agreed on 3 to 4 sessions. Why don't we try one more session, and at that point we can decide if we want to drop back to monthly or if we want to just end and come back as needed, or whatever you'd like to do. I really don't think there's anything going on with either of you that really can't be solved. A lot of what we've worked on are really kind of basic communication skills and some basic relationship skills, but I feel very positive about you. I think you have a real future.
Good.
Thank you.
I love her.
And I love you.
Oh, thank you.
Take care now.
All right. Thanks.